Good evening, Memphis. Good evening, Fight for 15. What do we want? 15. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? 15. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. It is great to be here with you all. It is historic, in fact. We just marched the route that sanitation workers 50 years ago marched. We are taking up that baton. We are carrying on that mantle. So I want to start with a Bible story that I was thinking about when I was on the strike line with y'all at McDonald's this afternoon.
All right.
It comes from Luke 18. And it goes that Jesus told them a story showing that it was necessary for them to organize, to pray with their feet, and to never quit. He said, there was a judge, a rich man in some city. Maybe it was the CEO of McDonald's or some other leader of the fast food industry here in Memphis, who never gave God a thought and cared nothing about people. But a widow, a poor woman in that city, kept after him, kept on saying, my rights are being violated. I need justice for my family. I need justice for my community. Now this judge, this CEO, he never gave that woman the time of day. But after it went on, and she kept organizing and striking and bringing more people onto the line with her and making her injustice heard, he said to himself, I care nothing about God, even less what people think. But because this poor woman keeps on coming back, keeps on making her voice heard, I think she better get her justice. I think the Fight for 15 is winning. I think we are going to get 15, we're going to get a union, and we're going to change the direction of society with God on our side. It is so important that the Fight for 15 is here today. There are 64 million workers in this country that make less than $15 an hour. And yet 400 families, just 400 families in this country make $97,000 an hour. This is not right. This is not just. We are making our voices heard. I am here today from the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival. And we are so honored to be teaming up, partnering up with the Fight for 15 for us to change the course of history and to get life better for everyone. On Mother's Day, this spring, we will launch a further movement that builds on the work that we're doing here today. In 25 states across the country and in Washington, D.C., hundreds or thousands of people will engage in 40 days of organizing, educating, and moral direct action and nonviolent civil disobedience. We know that this movement will change the direction of this country. It will demonstrate the power of the people. So I want to share a quote from Dr. King when he was in Memphis 50 years ago. The night before he was killed, someone asked him a question and said, when is it that you would have liked to live if you could have picked any time in your life? And he said, if I could have picked any time in my life, I would have picked to be here with you striking workers today. Because the nation is sick. Trouble is in the land. Confusion is all around. But I know somehow that only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. And I can see God working in this period of time in a way that some strange way people are responding. He goes on, something is happening in our world. The masses of people are rising up, and wherever they are assembled today, whether they are in Johannesburg, South Africa, Nairobi, Kenya, Accra, Ghana, New York City, New York, Atlanta, Georgia, Jackson, Mississippi, or Memphis, Tennessee, the cry is always the same. We want to be free. So this evening, Memphis, I have a question. Are you all willing to stand up just some more, to keep marching in the streets? Are you willing to cry out yet again, over and over, until our voices are heard, that we want to be free? Yes! We want to be free of racism. Yes! We want to be free of homophobia. Yes! We want to be free of sexism. Yes! We want to be free of low wages and bad working conditions. Yes! We want to be free of militarism. Yes! We want to be free of ecological devastation. Yes! We want to be free of poverty and injustice and the lack of dignity. So we are standing on the side of justice. We are standing on the right side of history. So today, we celebrate the workers who are fighting for a better world, who are fighting to make this country great for everybody. What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
if we don't get it.
Shut it down!
Thank you, Memphis. Thank you, Fightfor15.